All right, guys. Good morning from down under. I'm not Chris Gonzo. He's busy getting ready for Pinfest in the UK this week. I have the lovely Jamie Burchall from the JBS Show. Jamie, how are you?
I'm good, Enzo. How are you, brother?
I'm good, buddy. I'm good. What's going on?
Ah,
What time is it?
it's what 10
So I'm
p.m.
coming from the future. You're coming from the past.
Absolutely. You're already on Tuesday.
I'm already in fucking Tuesday. I hate Tuesdays. It's yeah. Anyway, I got Diet Coke. For those that don't know, right? Jamie, myself, and a few of the other pinball crew are mad Diet Coke fanatics.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was watching Jamie like over a year ago, he was drinking Diet Coke, and it's become a thing, right? So everyone that we normally talk to has Diet Coke. So Diet Coke shits on normal Coke and it shits on Coke Zero. Do you have Coke Zero in the US?
Yeah. The Coke Zero is a backup to me, sir.
I want the
Okay.
caffeine though.
Yeah. Coke
Right.
Zero has caffeine.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's Diet Coke, then Coke Zero, then
Yeah.
I'll drink a Pepsi Max,
Oh.
which is their like Coke Zero, and then I'll drink a Diet Pepsi. But more than likely after Pepsi Max, I'm drinking water.
Dude, there was a Facebook, I think I sent it to you, where some guy goes, "We'll never have world peace because Pepsi Max or Pepsi and Coke can't be in the same restaurant."
Yeah,
You know.
I can't. It's gross. That Pepsi's gross.
So for those that don't know, so Jamie has the JBS Show on YouTube. We'll put a link in the description, like, subscribe, all
Cool.
that stuff. Jamie was over at Wormhole. They did the Twippies last year, which I sponsored through my Australian Pinball Collective, which isn't a thing. There's more to that now in the future. We'll talk on that. But man, it's been a big ride. Been some interesting shit on your end happening.
Yeah, you know, the Wormhole closing was a bummer, right? It is a bummer.
So is that
And
fully closed?
for the time being, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
For the time being, yeah. I can disclose why. God, I've never disclosed why the Wormhole closed, but they made it public. It's that you know the owners of the Wormhole are getting a divorce, and rather than be stuck in the middle of this, divorce, it just makes sense for me to go and do my own thing.
Yeah. Who gets Jamie?
Yeah, well, I get Jamie. I never wanted to be Jamie from the something.
No.
Right? I want to be Jamie at something, like Jamie at Eureka Heights. So
yeah,
that was
so
just.
So sorry. So you obviously got into pinball. We'll touch on that now because of the Wormhole. Is that what really?
Oh
got
yeah,
you into it?
I got into pinball because of one of the Wormhole founders and my buddy John Spates, who's now at Eureka Heights. So John really was the one that pushed me, and got me into it, and it was awesome. And I just got into it about 2018, 2019. I started doing a lot of tournaments.
Yep.
And got into the tournament scene, and then got fully addicted during COVID. Fully addicted when the Wormhole opened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love following your tournament updates. How Jamie did this week.
Oh, you do? Those are on Instagram, TikTok, and like YouTube Shorts, right?
Yeah.
And I put them on Facebook Reels or whatever.
Yeah.
I did one the other day. Can Jamie play pinball? And the answer was no. Just I went no, and it was 8 seconds long. It was I got a big chuckle. It took me like 8 takes because I was laughing because it was so stupid. But
do you remember like the first game you played that you went like pinball's got me hooked now?
Yeah, totally.
What game was that?
It was World Cup soccer.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
So it was. I'll tell it very quickly. I went to Game Preserve North here in Houston, and I didn't want to play in the tournament. I just wanted to go and pay my $15 and just watch, because I just didn't know if I wanted to be in the scene yet. Right?
Yeah.
This is.
I can relate.
And John Spates paid for me. He paid my $15, right? And I was like, I have to play now. And he's like, yeah, we're getting you this IFPA number. You're playing. And so I start practicing. I don't know any of the rules. I don't know anything. It's beginning 2019. I don't know all these different machines. And World Cup soccer, I was like, well, I think I could just hit the goalie. I can do that 1,000 times, right? And
Yeah.
then just follow the lights. And that game, all of a sudden, I was like, hold on, wait a minute. I need to hit these ramps. I was watching someone, they're hitting the ramps and they're moving their progress on the game. And everybody knows World Cup Saga, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it just was an aha moment for me. And what's funny is I own a World Cup Soccer. It's the only machine I own. And a friend of mine, Brandon, shout out to Brandon Martin down in Clear Lake. He's housing it for me. And it's my still favorite machine because I had that aha moment. Like, you're not just scoring goals, dude. You got to move cities.
Yeah.
You got to progress. You got to get to Germany. And yeah, I love that machine. Damn, I love it.
It's funny. I actually multiple people that I speak to about, like, when did you get into it? What was the first game? And a lot of them say World Cup Soccer, and I think it's because obviously it's a theme that, you know, maybe out of, I know in the US soccer is not a huge thing, but you know, the rest of the world it is.
Yeah.
And everyone I speak to is like, that game is just so approachable by anyone. Doesn't matter how good you are, how new you are. You know, it's a game that is really captivating, and it has that one more moment. And it can be your only game in the collection. That's the thing, right? Like,
yeah, it does. I'm sorry, this battery in this camera
that's
is.
fine. I saw that the other day. So
yeah,
Jamie does on the JBS show. He does the round table with Retro Ralph and Cal Hernandez, which is hilarious. If you haven't watched it, and Jamie's camera failed for the second time,
it's pissing me off, man. It's too nice a camera. You see, it's flicking just a little.
Yeah. But is that a Sony ZV1?
It's a Sony ZV1.
Yeah, that's what I've got. I'm not using it today because it shits me too.
So if it goes to crap, we'll just switch it over to the camera because it's starting to piss me off. But you know, I started when we first started streaming at the Wormhole. I didn't know what I was doing, Enzo, and so it was just my technology was so bad. And then I got like really good at it, like Carl D'Angelo and Tom and all these guys started helping me. And then when I started understanding the technology and really understanding OBS, I got flat out addicted to streaming at the Wormhole. That was one of my addictions.
And your personality is perfect for it because you've got that radio voice and face for TV. So you've got two birds with one stone.
You see the fucking camera, dude? All right, we're gonna have to change the camera. Is that okay?
Yeah, switch it. Don't worry about it. I just made it rich raw. People love raw. So yeah. So what I was saying is, while Jamie does that, so Jamie on the JBS shows does interviews with other people. He does his streams with his commentating, and the roundtable, which has Retro Ralph and Cal Hernandez, hilarious banter, and they say a lot of shit that gets them in trouble too. But
yeah, dude, we're getting in a little more trouble than I thought. So, you know, just my progression, I went from streaming to the podcast, and I became friends with them about a year ago. And I bugged in their ear. I said, because our chats are wild, Enzo.
Yeah.
Our chats are wild, and they're funny.
I can imagine. Yeah.
And I said, guys, I'm telling you, this is a podcast. I think it's called the Pinball Roundtable. I've gamed it. I think we have to do this. And Kale was first on board. Like, boom. It didn't take much Ralph convincing either. All right. It didn't take not even a day for them to say yes. And they couldn't have been more generous to me because they had established channels. I'm starting over, you know. I'm starting over after I left the Wormhole, and they could have. I said, I think the three of us are very funny together because we're very different.
Yeah.
All right. Kale doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't.
Doesn't give a shit.
For
okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Ralph gives a shit, and I'm somewhere in the middle, right? So it's like that banter is great. And we all come from a different, you know, Ralph's the home collector. Big home collector. I go to the arcade and Kale runs one. So that's a pretty cool little mix.
Yeah, good mix.
I think. I don't know. Yeah, people really liking it, man. It does 3 to 5 times my other podcasts.
Oh, look, that's like anything. Like we do, you know, certain interviews with certain people don't get anywhere near the views that they do. Like if we were doing George Gomez, for instance, right? Like it's just.
You get him a good mic? Would you get him a better mic?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I jokingly sent him a message saying, "I'm going to send you a mic and a camera."
What did he say?
It hasn't read it yet, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. I was
But,
really scared about that after I said that. I was like,
well,
because
you're
they
not
went on the
saying.
Loser Kid podcast, and Josh and Scott are brilliant. They're such good interviewers, right?
Yeah.
And he sounds like he's in a phone booth. And it was like, come on, man. And what he
You,
had to say was so great
yeah.
that it just took away a little bit from such a great interview. That's all I'm saying.
You think that they would have, like you said, you guys touched on that they would have a dedicated room that anytime any one of your staff is doing an interview, you use that room, all right? And that
Yeah.
room is like sexy. It's got neons. It's got the cardboard cutout Gary Stern in the background.
Have
Like
you been
all that.
there? Have you been to Stern?
No, I've been invited multiple times, but I hate
Listen,
flying.
Enzo,
So,
there is a room there where they
yeah.
have like a little bar. They hold all their Twippy, all their awards,
Oh yeah.
all
Yeah.
the games, and
Yep.
a table there with merch all behind them, with a
Perfect.
perfect backdrop of whatever they want. And
Yep.
makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Well, let's
It's right there.
maybe you've made the catalyst change. Who knows? Let's see.
I don't know, but it would be cool. They need to do that, and their social media presence is increasing ever. You can see it from their new CMO and what they're
Yep.
doing, and
Yep.
especially with what Jack's going to be doing,
Mm.
because Jack is the first, right? He's the first.
The
He's the
OG.
goat. He's
Yep.
the guy that we all said, okay, I'd like to do this. I don't know if I have his personality. I sure can't play pinball or do things that he can do, right?
Yeah.
But he gave us the blueprint. I mean, who does that?
Mm.
Right? Like he goes, hey, here's how you stream. Here's all the equipment that you need.
Yep.
Here's how I built my rig.
I don't think. I mean, I know Roger Sharp obviously is the founding father of probably where we are today, and everyone gives him a lot of credit. But if you really think about it, I don't think there's anyone else in the industry that has given what Jack Danger has in relation to starting the whole Twitch content, pinball streaming, introducing pinball to a lot of new people,
Mhm.
doing it so passionately and so eloquently and fucking detailed and everything, but then becomes a designer and designs 2-3 games that have some
Yeah,
phenomenal ball
bangers.
paths. Yeah, and
Absolutely. And
like the
yeah.
ball paths are going to change the history of the way games are done, right? Like, so he's had such an impact that some will argue that maybe in 20 years' time he's going to be the Roger Sharp of pinball. I don't know, like of the modern time. That's a big
Yeah,
comment, but
that's it is, but it's not far fetched, right?
no,
What he's done and what he could do
mm,
as this new role in Stern. I'm
mm,
excited, but I'm buckling up. I can't wait to see the streams, and I hope he gets well after his surgery on his
yeah,
shoulder and comes back. With Pokemon is what we're hearing, right? I mean,
yep,
that's what we're gonna get, and it's
yep,
gonna be great. And that is the biggest license, right? You know who told me that?
yep.
Kale today. I was talking to Kale, and he goes, Pokemon is the biggest license.
It's huge.
It's a
And what you
huge
and
license.
what you can do with a game like that, while incorporating a new audience with Spike 3 and Insider Connect, where I can play my Pokemon game with my Pokemon characters against yours at your house, right? And that would be cool, right? Like we can connect the games that we can actually
Yeah.
burst each other, right? And you could do that with anyone in the world,
I think
or
that's a move they should do, but is it cost effective? Is there an ROI on that right now? I just don't know.
I
I
don't
just
know.
don't know.
I don't know. But you remember, I don't know if you guys like Pokemon Go, the app was huge here in Australia where
Yeah, yeah,
people were
yeah.
flooding the
Big here too.
streets. Yeah, like people were flooding the streets looking for these Pokemon. Imagine if they did that with the game. You need to go find that pinball game, right? And you play it and you get those Pokemon and you get characters. Like there's so much they could do.
Oh,
And
within Insider Connect?
oh yeah,
Absolutely.
massive, massive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a no-brainer. And I think
Yeah,
I'd be shocked if they didn't do it, Enzo, right? I'd be shocked if
yeah.
they didn't put the entire power of Insider Connect behind it. So,
I just think it's the perfect game for it, and it's the perfect game of connecting like people you know, I'm in the most isolated city in the world, and if I have a Pokemon and you've got one, I'd love to know that I can play you in your home when I'm in my home, and we're not wearing pants.
It'd be
Like,
pretty wicked cool, though. It'd be
it'd be
pretty
great.
wicked cool.
It'd
It'd
be
be pretty
great, you know. So yes, I think it's Jack Danger, and I do think it's being handballed to Elwin. Elwin is a huge Nintendo fan, and I think he would have loved to have done Pokemon as well. So it'd be the perfect collab to take it on and finish it. So let's see. Let's see. Um, so obviously the whole wormhole thing we've touched on. You're at Eureka
Yeah.
Heights now doing the content and stuff like that. So had you played pinball when you were younger at all, or touched on it
You know,
briefly?
I played a lot of arcade games.
Yeah.
So I would go to arcades. In Long Island, New York, we would go to pizza joints and
Yeah.
pump quarters in the Gallagher. Now, the same story that everybody has, right? But I got introduced to pinball at the Contemporary Hotel in Orlando, Florida. When I moved to Florida when I was like 16 years old,
Yeah.
we didn't know anyone. And I
Yeah.
just had my younger brother, and he was 13, and I could drive because I'm 16 now. So we went to the Contemporary Hotel,
Yeah.
and you can go to the Contemporary, pay $5 and play Popeye and all these games forever and ever and ever. And that's what we did,
Yeah.
like our summer. But I started playing pinball because it's like, think of that year. It's like 1989, 1990. And there's some bangers coming out, and I start understanding it a little, but if Popeye was there, I was going to Popeye. I don't know why that game I pumped a shit ton of quarters in.
I mean, it's a game that just looking at it is pretty captivating, to be honest. So I can understand why. But so all right, so you then time goes past, you end up obviously COVID, everyone was in. I mean, COVID's what got me back into pinball
Yeah.
because we couldn't go. I used to go to the local arcade, there's only really one here, and I couldn't, right? So I was hiring games off a friend of mine who rents them to people, right? And then I was like, I need to get one at home because it's getting the kids off the iPad, it's getting them wanting to play, it's helping with their motor skills, it's bringing us together as a family, blah blah blah, all that stuff, right?
This is what you told everybody.
Yeah, so like it's yeah.
This is your sales pitch to the family. This is why I'm going to spend all this effing money.
Well, there was an episode I done many years ago when I joined Gonzo's where I explained that I was a vintage toy collector and retro gaming collector, and everything lived in tubs for so long. One day I just turned around and was like, "What am I doing? There's so much money sitting in these tubs. Nobody's
toys."
Like I had vintage Ninja Turtle seal. Everything was sealed, right? So
okay.
So
like Ninja Turtles is like past me, right? Because I'm 52, right?
Yeah.
So if you said G.I. Joe, we would have a long conversation.
There was some G.I. Joe toys. There was some toys that were like, you know, He-Man and all that type of stuff. That I was collecting all that stuff. And it was just that my personality is I need to be a completionist, which is impossible because some of these toys are worth 10 grand, right?
Yeah.
And one day I was just like, I need to get rid of all this stuff because nobody's using it. It's dead money. And I can reinvest that money into some pinballs. And that's what I did, right? And it's the best thing I ever did because along with that, it's brought the family together, which is true. But I've met so many new people. I've made so many friends. And it's one of the best communities I've ever been involved in. The gaming community is great, but it can be extremely toxic, even though so can pinball. But it was just very different. Like it's not as friendly, not as like
you're right.
Yeah.
I was heavily involved in Call of Duty and playing. I played a shit ton of Gears of War.
Oh yeah.
I was in a Gears of War clan.
Yep, I love Gears of War.
Oh, I love Gears of War, but it got shotgun OP'd and yada yada yada. But I was really into that video game and crap with my kids.
Yeah,
and it was Tim that said, "Hey, come over to my house and play some pinball," and kind of started me down that crazy road.
Yeah, I'm forever trying to get anyone I meet. I try and wear pinball stuff and just anything that can trigger conversation. I'm like the vegan who tries to tell you that you should be a vegan. with pinball.
Yeah, the thing is, how do you know someone likes pinball? They open their mouth, right? I mean, we don't shut the hell up about it because we're passionate and we love it, which is why I love the round table. It's one of my favorite things. All we really are doing is three buddies sitting together and bullshitting about pinball. And I'll talk pinball with someone all night. And so when I go out to dinner with me, John, and Janine, and Christine, if we all go out to dinner, John and I have to stop talking pinball because the girls are gonna lose their mind.
Lose their shit. Yeah.
Nah, they don't lose it. We can see them glancing over, and we're like, all right, we got to ease up on the pinball because we love it so much. Like we're just so passionate about it. And I was down the Grand Canyon for 15 days, right? I did the entire river, the Colorado River. We couldn't. There were three of us that were all in a pinball with my wife Janine, and we lasted 4 days before we started spreading the word of pinball. Within the 21 guests on this tour, we got two of them. Two people lived down by an arcade. We drove all the way down there to meet them there so that they could play in a pinball tournament.
Yeah.
And they had the best time. They loved it.
There you go. So was doing those 15 days a little bit like coming off crack when you're like, because there's no pinball in the Grand Canyon, right? Were you like, oh my God, I need pinball?
We did. You know, we were actually pissed because Kale and Rachel had a arcade in Flagstaff. So we were like, okay, we could drive from here, you know, go to the Electric Bat in Flagstaff, then get to the Grand Canyon. And then on the night we get out, we can go. But when we booked it, but then they sold that location and took all the games out. And we were like, oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
No big deal.
All right. So I think so we gave everyone a little bit of, I don't want to bore people with, we could talk forever about it, but so jump on Jamie's channel, go watch the videos.
Yeah.
The round table's phenomenal. So do that. Why don't we talk about where things are at today, right? So there's been some awesome rumors, titles. What's obviously we know World Cup is a game that you love playing. What's a couple games that at the moment are really captivating you that have been released in the last year or two?
So I just got to play Harry Potter. Just came to Eureka Heights.
Nice.
And I got to play it. I've put about 10 games on it. I don't know the scoring yet. I'm not there, you know. And this is no criticism of JJP's. It's just a little more complicated. So I need some more time on this machine. Whereas you could step up in the beginning of Kong and you can kind of figure it out, right?
Yeah.
This is a little more complicated. The scoop shot's a pain in the ass. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. It's like a double scoop. There's they got like a little Legends of Valhalla thing going on. Kinda. But it's good. I really liked it. The Quidditch is unbelievable. When you get going up there, by the way, it's a shit ton of points right now.
Yeah,
in the current code.
It's crazy, and everyone reckons it's one of the most captivating upper playfields in pinball.
Oh, no question. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
the super little ramp thing. Have you played it?
No, there's one that's landed in Melbourne, but that's 4,000 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be a while before we play it. So, I mean, I only just got Evil Dead. That's how behind we are.
Okay. What do you think of Evil Dead? Because that's the second game I'm playing a shit ton.
Man, Evil Dead. I am not into the theme. I wasn't into the theme originally. I don't mind horror, but it's not my go-to. I hadn't watched the movie since I was a kid. But it was the FOMO, and also, I'm really good friends with Don from Don's Pinball Podcast.
Yeah.
And he kept saying, have you bought an Evil Dead yet? Have you bought an Evil Dead yet? And he's like, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. And, I've got to give it to him. He's one that pushed me. But it is probably the most well-done theme integration of a game and I've played a lot of pinball. I think the artwork is some of the best artwork package in the history of pinball. I know that's a big call, but the color scheme, the what Franchi does is just next level.
It's beautiful, and I love the game.
Oh, the game is just the modes, the way the modes are, the insanity mode where every mech in the game is going nuts, and you got to shut them down. The interesting thing about this, and I had this conversation last night, and I said this to Kerry Hardy as well, was that as a layout, it is very basic. It is just a fan. Like, I mean, most games there's fan layouts, but there's nothing like there's no intricate ball paths. There's nothing innovative about Evil Dead as a layout. In theory, Texas Chainsaw has actually got better ball paths and some different things that we had never seen in pinball, right? But it doesn't matter. Like it literally doesn't matter. And it is as a total game, it is captivating, and I can see why it's sold out very quickly, and I can see why everyone's trying to get one because the pinside list of wanted ads for an Evil Dead just keep growing and
I
growing.
know. I've been looking. Now it has its detractors. You know, it has some detractors at Eureka Heights. Sorry, this is that we. No, it's one of my hairs because I got this long hair. I have ADD. I'm sorry. It has its detractors. Okay, there are people that don't love it. There are people that don't know the code and don't understand. You know, maybe some of the paths you want to take on a tournament, and maybe Evil Dead 2 or whatever. There are some people that maybe spend a little too much time on the boomstick, whereas they should really be focusing on modes and such. But I really dig it. I play the hell out of it. Again, my only problem with Spooky is Insider Connected. They don't have Insider Connected. They don't have their own thing. They don't have Scorebit. They don't have
profiles.
It's when you go to Eureka Heights. I mean, they have 23 machines now. They've grown crazy, and say the internet's down, you're almost like, I don't even know if I want to play because I'm not going to get any achievements. And so that's the thing when you go and you play an Evil Dead, you know. But Eureka, really quick, I'll give them a shout out. They're building a spooky row, and let me see if I can get all the machines. So it's Evil Dead. Scooby Doo is right next to it. Then the Jetsons.
Nice.
Which is really kind of cool. They didn't make a lot of those. And this is a purple one, which is pretty even more rare.
I'd love to get a Jetsons.
It's kind of fun. It's not a good tournament game. It annoys you because the code is really basic. It also sucks to stream, to be honest. No offense to Spook. But because you can't, they never show the score. And so they never show the score on this game. You're trying to stream it. And you're like, everyone at home's like, well, what the hell what did player 3 have? And you're like, no idea. They didn't code that shit in. Then at TNA, they got a TNA delivered any day now.
Nice.
Halloween and Rick and Morty.
They do, everyone that used to kind of critique their reliability in QC. I haven't had a problem with any of my spookies ever, right? And between me and my friend Shane, we've got, Looney Tunes, Rick and Morty, Alice Cooper,
Alice Cooper's fun.
Yeah, they're all so unique. They're all different. They're all captivating. Like they're made by people that love pinball, right?
Yeah,
and they care about the themes. They choose themes that they care about, and they know that at least 1,000 people care about it, right?
No question. Good company. I support them, and Eureka supports the hell out of them. There are arcades that get beat on more that may have problems, but at Eureka, Taylor Buckley is one of the best operators on the damn planet, and he knows how to make those things shine. And
Kyle was saying on your channel as well that like it hasn't missed a beat for them either.
Yeah, Evil Dead hasn't missed a beat.
Yeah.
No,
but
we haven't had any problems with all those machines. And Rick and Morty gets a lot of crap, okay, because people don't like it. But I had Scott Denisi on years ago on the Wormhole channel, and it's the RSS feed's still the same. So he tells you how to play it. He's like, you got to get mega seeds, right? Because that's vitally important, and you got to stay on the right side of the playfield. The left side of the playfield's terrible. You don't want to be over there. It's terrible. And he's right, And I had this guy, Craig Hughes. Shout out to Craig. He hated Rick and Morty He's like, I can't put up more than 2-3 million in a tournament. And I sat him down. We played the game together, and he put 21 million up. Because it's
a
about
great
mega
game.
seeds, right? It's a great
Yep,
game. You
yep.
get those mega seeds, man. Go to
Yeah.
different dimensions and go to that
It's
shit. It's awesome.
it's an awesome game. Yes, there's a couple shots that are really, controversial, but at the end of the day, it's a total package. If you love the theme, Scott Denisi just slaps at everything he does. His music, his layout,
Who did
TNA,
rules on that? Bowen, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I mean,
then
come on. Bowen knows
yeah,
what he's doing. And
yeah,
yeah, definitely. Great game. Love
yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to see. The rumor is that they have Beetlejuice next,
Yeah.
and they're going to probably do 1,000 games this time. Maybe 999 is the rumor.
I haven't heard
But
that. I did
yeah,
hear Beetlejuice though,
yeah,
and don't do the second Beetlejuice. Don't do
no,
that
just
Toy
the
Story
first.
4.
No, 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 no.
You don't
It
need
was
that crap.
no, that knowing Bug and Luke well enough that they wouldn't make a mistake like
No.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but look, to be a little bit more family friendly as such, I guess. Yes, Beetlejuice is a bit more family friendly.
Yeah, it's
Um,
PG-13, right?
yeah. So
You got that Deo song. What was that? Deo. That'll be on.
yeah,
That'll
that'll
be
be
a
on. Yeah,
Deo multi-ball and
yeah, for sure, for sure. So,
absolutely.
and their support. I mean, shout out to Spooky's support. You email them, they respond. You can call them, you can FaceTime them. They're so approachable. And I hope they stay. Like, I want companies to grow and get better, but I just don't want them to grow too much because you kind of lose that essence of like a family-run business where it's kind of approachable and they're involved in a lot of conversations online, discords, and
Yeah.
it's cool that they're so with the community. They put polls up in their discords about like, would this make a good theme? Do you like modes this way? Like, it's really engaging, and it's shout out to them because we're gonna have Bug on the channel tomorrow, hopefully.
Oh,
So
good.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Spooky owners are very passionate. You can see it, right?
100%.
Yeah, you guys are. You drink the Kool-Aid, so that's
Drink the
cool.
Kool-Aid.
It's a good
Spooky
Kool-Aid.
shill.
Tastes good.
Yeah, yeah, big spooky shill. Have you had much time on June?
I have not had much time on Dune. I got to play Dune the second code update,
Yep.
and that was a game changer.
Mm,
It definitely changed. With the call outs and with the other things, it's a much better game. It's really good.
yeah.
You I highly recommend it in a darker room.
Yeah.
Okay, because the light
Cinematic.
show is pretty awesome, and the
Mm,
worm is badass. Shout out Travis Mosman. He did a great job with it. I really like the machine.
yeah. I love what they did with Labyrinth. We had a Labyrinth for a while, really well put together. It was a very hard shooter for
It's a
a
hard game for the
very
kids,
hard
right?
game.
I
Yeah.
had it here in the house
Mm,
as well. I housed it, and my daughter-in-law had a tough time with Labyrinth. She's like, "When is
yeah.
this one leaving?" And it wasn't it crapped on it. She's just like, "It's just too hard for me," because she's
Yeah.
a brand new player.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Some of those shots were, I mean, I'm not a great player, I'm probably ranked somewhere between 15 and 20,000 in the world, but like, I don't really participate in comps either. But it's just that I just want to be able to have fun and not feel like I'm just getting angry because there's a few games at the moment we can touch on that that are giving me that feeling. And
yeah,
Labyrinth started to give me that feeling because I was like, I really like the theme, but I'm struggling with it. I'm struggling with hitting certain shots, and it just wasn't doing it for me. So I'm glad to hear that June is a better shooter.
yeah. Again, I don't think Labyrinth's a bad shooter. It's just hard. It's just harder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Those
yeah,
ramps are
yeah.
tight.
Yeah,
And they're vital to do if you're going to get the oubliette mode, and you're going to get through those modes, because you got to
yeah,
get through the modes. So
yeah.
but yeah, Dune's definitely an easier shooter now with the call outs, and now with it directing you. They do a good job with that little screen.
Oh, yeah.
They
Even the
do a
way
good
it's so
job.
cinematic, right? Because the screen has elements of your mode that then you've got to hit in line with the screen, like
Yeah, there's this
and it's
chopper
just
that goes
yeah,
across. That's wicked cool.
yeah. So, and I'm so excited to see Jeff on it from Dirty Pinball.
Big
Dirty
fan of
Pool
Jeff.
Pinball. Jeff's great.
Yeah, Dirty Pool. I always say Dirty Pinball too.
Dirty Pool,
Yeah, I like him. He's come on the scene pretty hot and heavy, and good for him. He's a nice dude.
Yeah, and he does. For those that don't know, check him out. He does audio mixing and is working on June now to incorporate better sounds and sound effects and all that. So it'll be interesting to see, how he comes along. I want to hear your take and your experience with Dungeons and Dragons, because there's a real divide in the community on Dungeons and Dragons, right? So Dungeons and Dragons was created with a theme that they had hoped would bring in a lot of newbies to this hobby, right? Because it's such a big theme for Dungeons and Dragon players, right? The issue is, all right, is that I love the storytelling element, the character build up, the trinkets, the shop, the call outs, the storytelling, right?
Yeah.
But the layout, it's not fun for me, personally, for me. Now, I'm not the only one that feels this way. Jeff feels the same way.
Jeff feels this way heavily.
Carl feels this way.
I've argued with Jeff about this. What his point is, the upper, the King Kong biplane shot that they have basically in Dungeons and Dragons, right? The upper flipper boom shot. You can't get to that unless you can go to Gizmo shot, and inject it out. Or you can backhand, or depending what flipper you on, that little inner loop orbit thing.
Yeah.
Next to
which is a hard shot.
Right. It's bullshit.
It's bullshit. So when the whole game is based on getting the ball to that upper flipper, for me, right? I don't know who's I get it, but I don't know who kind of went, yeah, this is going to get new people in the hobby.
Is it too hard?
It's way too hard.
It might be too hard. Now, I'll give him props for this. Dragon's wicked cool.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Especially the premium. Those 8 balls, it's badass.
Yeah.
When your Dungeons and Dragons is totally dialed in and the shield comes up and the ball is laying there, and if it does hit the right ramp or the left orbit ramp, that's cool.
Which is rare, because that shield moves when it goes up and down. It constantly shifts. So it's not all.
It's supposed to stay there, and so I've been on locations where that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And it's vital, because you could use.
I could never get mine to work.
Yeah. See, that's another problem that I'm hearing about it.
Yeah. So when
you're doing your T chart, right? When you're doing your T chart, the game comes out what, like a B plus?
Yeah, B.
A solid B. It's a solid B. The code makes it better. The problem also is it is Dungeons or Dragons, and Jeff is right about that, because especially in a tournament, when you're fucking around in that dungeon, it's such a waste of time, because the most you're going to get out of there is 15 million, maybe 20 million.
Yeah.
And you have so many shots you had to hit. You're much better off traveling and going.
But it's probably one of the most unique pinball experiences in relation to the code and the traveling element and the storytelling and the character development. Much better than Venom was good. Yes, you build up your character, but this is next level, right?
It's totally next level.
And I want to enjoy it, but unfortunately, I had to move mine on. I had to move it on. I get criticized for being a Stern shill really badly, right? And I do drink their cordial a little bit, but I have to say Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to say something controversial now, King Kong, they both have really kind of frustrated me.
Okay, we can talk about Kong if we tie a bow on Dungeons and Dragons, because I do think the code is really badass. Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh yeah, it is.
And
Dwight is a genius.
Yeah, he really is. He really is.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, let's go on the Kong now. Have you played the new code that just came out?
Yeah, I've got Kong here.
You've got Kong here.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. It's in the other room.
So I've had a lot of time on Kong. That's probably the third I'm playing the most right now. And Batman 66. I still play the shit out of Batman And with crossing the chasm, and some of the modes need a little work. All right. What I still mean is they don't like crossing the chasm is a little overpowered than Stegosaurus and some of the other modes. Right. So if you're playing it as a tournament and you F up crossing the chasm, save and maybe, I don't know. So you know what I'm trying to say there? I'm screwing this up, Enzo.
No. Like I totally agree. Sorry, I'm just getting this work thing out of the way because it is 12 o'clock here. So one of the things with Kong, I'm struggling to connect with it. I think it's the modes a little bit. Obviously, being an original IP in a sense, it is very similar to the original movie. Some of the stories in it and the modes in it, but some of the modes I'm just really struggling with. They all feel very similar. I'm not connecting with the game, but the problem is I'm having, and again, I'm not a great player, so that's on me, sure. But if you can hit those shots, it's butter. Like it is a flow monster, right?
It is. You can get chasm going.
Yep.
It is such a flow. Now, I'm not a great player either. I'm 3800th in the world, dude. No good, right? But I just love playing, and I love the competition. And I love the camaraderie. That's why I play.
Yeah.
And okay. I could see that you're going to put it in the B range. I think the code is not there yet. Still,
it's not even just the code though, Jamie. Like for me, the two posts in the middle of the playfield which protect the biplane ramp entry, they get in the way a lot, right?
Yeah, they do.
That left out lane is a fucking drain monster. The center post a lot of the time doesn't work for me because the ball's just moving too fast.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
it's very rare that you're going to get a bounce up center post, old school.
And honestly, my game was in a carpet room, and I never have a problem on the carpet. I actually moved it to the living room on the tiles, so I could the game really needs you to slap it around and nudge it, which other games do too, sure. But I really feel that this one really needs it. And when the spider gets the ball and chucks it in your right out lane, right? Like, and I'm just going.
So they got to add a ball save, right? They got to add a little ball save there.
As soon as it comes off the spider, you need a ball save.
All right, maybe not. No, I don't think so. You're not getting,
or maybe just in the right out lane.
I don't know. You're probably not getting that.
Probably not. But the left out lane, like, is just, and there's elements, and again, I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but like when Elwin went on record and kind of said he didn't really want to make King Kong, and George had to like persuade him to. I kind of feel there's elements of that I can feel in the design because there's a few areas that feel a bit band-aidy to me, and the left out lane is one of them. Yeah, man, I'll get.
I like the left out lane because it's really neat with the river coming through and
it's
blocking
like
the river. It is cool. So the left out lane totally makes sense with that. What they're incorporating there. All right, listen. The greatest thing about pinball is that if you don't like it, you don't have to get it, right? But you have it. I mean, so that's unlucky there.
I'm struggling to get. I sit between 80 mil and 150 mil all the time. Okay. But I have more games. Where I get under 50 and I rage quit and leave.
So Jaws is that way to me.
See, that's interesting.
Okay. So Jaws, dude, I'm 50 million or 300 million.
But is that because? Okay, the 300 million hard. Because but the Jaws, the ball stays alive a lot longer than in King Kong.
It's more play field.
Yeah, but it doesn't drain anywhere near as much, right? So
there's less shit to hit in the middle. The
bottom with Jaws, I feel that if you know the code, you know how to score points. But if you don't, then you're always going to sit under 100. Right?
Yeah. Because if you know the code, you're not really wasting your time with the first multi-ball, and you're doing much more. What is it? What shark encounters, and you're really working on your shark encounters and your mode. I just don't know that game as well as I've started to learn Kong.
Look, with Kong, I love the shots you can do, the combos with the left orbit, the biplane ramp. and then you get your super secret, super duper skill shot, which if you can nail 6 of them in a row is great. But there's nothing in between. It's either you have a good game, you have a really shit
so
game.
it doesn't look at your eye. It doesn't, what am I trying to say? It doesn't, fit your eye. It might not be a game that toots your horn, dude. Forget it.
I know, but I'm so like devastated because like I'm gonna keep. I got guys that keep telling me, like Don texts me randomly and goes, "Play better, play better."
All right, yeah. I mean, there's some of that, but if it doesn't suit your eye, right? I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Then forget it. Then dump it. You know what game I couldn't suit? Like again, these games where they don't. I can't play Star Wars.
Yeah,
can't play it. I think it's a ridiculous game. I think you're pounding an action button like a lunatic, and you got to move all this shit. And I don't know which R2D2 or Han Solo or TIE Fighter or forget that.
And the story's all over the place in Star Wars.
It's all over the place in that game.
On episode 4 and go to episode 6. Like,
why
am I on the Death Star and I haven't even met Princess Leia yet?
I know it's bananas, right? So that game, but if someone who knows the code and loves that shit and loves the flow, they'll fight you talking about it. They're like, I love Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I can't put up 300 million.
No.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So
new Star Wars, huh?
New Star Wars. So for me, this is an awesome. Everyone's like, "Oh, is it really going to be 4, 5, and 6 again?" And I really hope it is because I feel that they had a game that wasn't meant to be Star Wars. It didn't go their way. They re-skimmed it as Star Wars, and you can feel that it's been re-skimmed. It's for a Star Wars fanatic, it's missing toys and mechs.
Yeah.
It's missing the storytelling element. I want to play it like Harry Potter, where I visit every film, right? As opposed to visiting characters and then like I'm just appearing in the middle of a fucking Death Star for no reason. I think this is their way. Yeah, their way of going, okay, well, look, the first time it was good. It still sold well. Star Wars is always going to sell well, even if it's shit.
Yeah.
But like the new one, if it is similar to John Borg's original Data East Star Wars, which he also designed, right? And he's rumored to be on this one. I'm okay with that. Like, as long as it's just modernized and, there's rumor that it's going to be heavily about Empire Strikes Back, but still have the other films as well. Like, it's probably going to have a massive walker in the back and a bit of snow.
A little AT-AT and all that crap.
AT-AT, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, yeah, look, I think they can. I mean, but that's a license that you could just milk it till the cows come home. Like,
it's one of the best licenses. They've got massive licenses. If they do have Pokemon, if they do have, I mean, they have Star Wars, and that they've released 4, 5, and 6. I was kind of hoping that like the LE would be black with a lot of Darth Vader.
It probably will though, because there is rumors of Darth Vader like having a big presence. I think it was one of the reasons why the Empire Strikes Back pinball we got, in the 80s was so popular because it had that Darth Vader head on it. And, it was about the best film fucking ever made, really.
Yeah.
So
episode 5 is the best.
Yeah. An element of me as a 40-year-old man going back to watch episode 1, 2, 3, I appreciated them much more now than when they came out. They're actually very good. You got to watch them again.
Really?
Oh, you got to watch them again as a.
You're not going to get me. Man. You're not going to get me to like anything Jar Jar Binks. I skip. If I go watch episode 1, I'll skip anything Gungan. I don't really give a shit about the Guggens. I try to skip anything with the kid pod racing because that's embarrassment. That kid is like the worst actor they could have possibly gotten.
That's fair. Yep.
Right? Like dog shit acting. And then it's just and then the puppet Yoda in the first one looks like shit. And then I don't know, man. Episodes 1, 2, and 3.
The second and third are very good.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now Darth Maul, pretty badass in episode 1. That whole fight scene is epic with the John Williams music. Okay, so I typically just skip to that. If I'll just show me that. That's the best part of the movie.
Well, look, I mean, either way, John Borg. I know John Borg as a designer frustrates people because some of his games they're either very similar or very hard.
Yeah.
I loved Rush's layout. I think Rush layout is better than Metallica. I just struggle with the theme. I don't like the band. I didn't even heard of the band until the game come out.
Get out of town.
Never. No, Australia Rush. Like, give me Akadaka and like Kiss, sure, but
All right.
there is a lot of people in Australia that never heard of Rush before, right? Which I get it.
Rush is harder than King Kong.
No, see, I have a fucking great time on Rush.
See, that's why pinball's the best, Enzo, because that's a ridiculous statement. But that's why pinball's the best.
Like,
you like Rush. I can't get 15 million on Rush. Okay.
So Rush has that shit in the middle of the playfield too, right? But you just go past it. It doesn't like jank your game and drain your balls, right?
Ugh.
Like,
yeah, I don't know.
That sounded terrible. But Borg can be frustrating for some people. I love a lot of his stuff. Like I loved his Iron Man. It's simple, I love the Tron. The music pins, I'm a bit over them, but like Kiss wasn't great for me. I find that really boring. No, was it Kiss? Did he do Kiss?
No idea.
Maybe he didn't. Maybe no, that was Steve Ritchie, I think. Oh, I'm gonna
don't
look
get
that
me
up
lying. I don't have my notes in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't know every single designer of every single game. Most people do. A lot of people do. I find their intelligence amazing. That they can keep all this in their head. But I'm pretty good, but not that great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's not even loading now. We're getting smashed with bad weather here, and in Australia, every time it rains, it's got the worst. Like our internet, people don't know how to drive. Our internet goes fucking crazy. No, it is John Borg. What am I talking about?
All right, well, good. There you go.
Anyway, so yeah, but like some of his stuff can be frustrating. So I know some people are like, oh, really? Steve Ritchie is a great designer and everything, but there's a lot of repetition. Like Elton John is just Star Wars LE, Stern Star Wars, and Star Trek Next Gen. You put them side by side and you look at them and you like overlap them. Like I've photoshopped an image just to prove a point to someone because he's like, Elton John is nothing like Star Trek from Stern. I was like, it is identical. Instead of the piano, you've got the Enterprise, you've got the warp ramp, you've got that on Elton John. Like there are so many elements and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But like, he's don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No worries. I like Elton John. It's a fun game. It's a cool shooter. But, do I want an Elton John in my house? Probably not. I don't love Elton that much. I mean,
there's no doubt. Elton John is a hell of a fun time, especially when the projection goes off and the music. But if you've got Star Wars and Elton John in your collection, you're probably going to go playing the same game. That's my point. So I don't know many people that own both. Let's put it that way. What's your take on all this Predator stuff?
Oh my God, they botched that, huh?
Okay, no. I was involved. So for those that don't know, and I don't know if I've told you this. So I was involved in the launch of that game. Like I was talking to them months before. They were I was under NDA with some stuff, and I reached out to them multiple times saying, let's get Gonzo to your factory. Let's do something. Let's record something. Let's get a game to the channel. It's a safe channel. Gonzo can be critiqued very, very tastefully and professionally. He's not going to like rage quit on you. He'll tell it how it is and give you feedback and blah, blah, blah. Crickets. They wanted to do it their way, which ended up being botched. I love Daniel from Pinball Brothers, but he's not the right person to be doing interviews. Because he doesn't mean to be. He's just his personality is really mellow,
probably a little monotone,
and that's okay. Yeah. But like maybe have someone else with you to pick up.
But don't you want a hype man, right? I mean, you kind of want a hype man.
You want a hype man, and they tried it with Cengiz, but Cengiz isn't everyone's cup of tea. I love the boy, and he's my boy, but like I know a lot of people don't struggle with Cengiz a little bit because his energy and his voice is too much and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but I like Cengiz. I like Cengiz.
Yeah, Cengiz is great, but but at the same time, we are now a few months after the release of Predator, and nobody has seen one in the wild. No one has played one.
But they just, that company's in trouble,
man. Especially
they just released the U.S. thing. Did you see the U.S. non-tariff thing? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've just shut on all the distributors in the US, basically.
Yeah. So if you're a distributor, how happy are you when that came out? Right.
Yeah.
You're like, what? So I'm
Alright.
supposed to show your game. I'm supposed to buy your game, take orders for your game, but you're going now direct and you're beating me on price.
Yeah. Doesn't make it.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And when you stop production of a game, not even 6 months, then you know
Yeah.
you've got problems. Now, I think the rumor is that there's a licensing expiry on it. I'm like, why would you make a game if you only had 6 months licensing? You
See,
know,
I run a small business and sometimes I am baffled by this industry. I'm baffled at some of the decisions that these guys make. And I don't want to be the guy that scums on a podcast and shits on anybody. That's not who I am. I'm just not that guy. But
fuck it, let's do it anyway.
But you can't launch a game without Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger, right?
Yeah.
How could you do that? Now you did it with Highway did it without Ripley, and that was a big mistake, right? And then they get Ripley, and that's a good move, right?
But you're never going to get Arnold. It's just too expensive.
Okay,
right?
then you can't make the game.
Well, I think there's elements that you could use a really good voiceover actor, right? And use. I still believe you could get Arnold footage. I'm not asking you to get Arnold to do call outs and shield the game. Right?
Okay, that's what I mean. He's not going to shill the game. He's not going to get call outs. He's not sitting down. That's millions of dollars. Right. No chance. Okay, I guess
I'm happy for you to use Chengiz to do the call outs.
Well, just get the words right, for God's sakes. They didn't even get the words right. I mean, my God. But which I don't really care. I went and rewatched that movie recently because I was like, all right, this is gonna come out. Let me watch this movie. It
is, dude. If you think about it, hold on. Think about this. You're talking about a movie with a very basic script that's set in one area, basically, right? And what they did artistically with that film, it's pretty captivating.
All right.
You're glassing over, aren't you? Have you had a nap today?
I had a nap.
Have you had a nap today?
I did. I got one in. It's fine. It's fine. You know,
it's iconic.
It's okay.
It deserves
listen, I like Jesse the Body Ventura more than anybody. I loved The Body, but you know, it's just an okay movie. It's not, you know, Commando or there's other things, Terminator, the other things that Arnold did. But I mean, if you get the license and you don't have him, and you can't even show him, you can only show his ankles, then what are you doing? It doesn't make doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense, right? No. And then when you stream it, now I have history of streaming games that are launched. I streamed Labyrinth, and the pressure on you to do this. I streamed the Twippies, and the internet went down. Shit happens, dude. And so there's a lot of stress when that happens. But you got to have a hype man sitting next to you. You got to explain the game, and we got to turn it up so we can hear it, and at least play one round through without us talking.
Yep.
That's vital to be played, and especially when you don't have any to show anyone and you don't have any to get out there for people to play, your first thing out of the gate's got to be money.
Yeah.
Got to be money. You got to be money, because now what they're unfortunately doing is they're just selling. This is the parts that they've got, probably, right? Let's just get rid of this and let's move on to the next game. But how can you do that when Predator, let's say Predator is a dud.
Yep.
Then ABBA was a dud. Queen's a dud. Boy, I'm just shitting all over them.
I just don't think they can
last.
They can get out of this. I don't think they can get out of this now.
I think the name is, unfortunately, this hobby's brutal, though. This hobby's tough, man. And if you don't put up bangers, you know, they'll let you, but even, you know, if you look at Spooky's progression, you know, they weren't putting out ABBA. You know, they weren't putting out that quality. They were putting up much higher quality than those. So it's like, if your machine comes out, and I had this conversation. This is a good one. You ready for this one?
Hit me.
What's the worst Stern pinball machine made in the last 6 years?
So in Spike 2?
Yeah. in Spike 2. Would you say Led Zeppelin?
I'd say Led Zeppelin.
Okay, let's say Led Zeppelin for the
Yeah.
case, right? Would you rather have a Led Zeppelin or a Predator?
Well, it's hard because I haven't played Predator, right? Like, because
Okay. Would you
I
rather
love
have the,
Alien. I love Alien. I love how Alien shoots, feels. That it's very atmospheric. So if it's like that, and they can sort this issue with the footage of Arnold, I don't give a shit if it's a voice actor, right? Then I would choose Predator,
okay?
right? But that's
My
yeah.
argument with the roundtable guys has always been, if you can't beat Stern's worst machine in the last 6 years, what are you doing? What are you making machines for?
But Predator is technically Whirlwind 2.0, right? It's very similar to Whirlwind in the
It
layout.
looks similar to Whirlwind.
Very similar. It's just a wide body without the spinning discs, but the rest of it is very similar. Now that to me can be money. That can be money, right? It may play amazing. We may just be shitting on it because unfortunately they've botched it, but it could still play amazing, right? Now
I hope to have some at Expo. I'm going to be going to Pinball Expo in Chicago.
I'm
I
sure they
hope,
will.
and I'm sure there'll be some there, and I'll give it a great critique. But
Yeah,
just critiquing the launch, unfortunately, yeah, you're right. They pretty much botched it.
yeah, yeah.
And then they don't, are they getting back with Cengiz? And then he got upset. It's just crazy.
Well, look, if Kaneda and Cengiz can get back together, anything's possible.
Who knows? Who knows?
So yeah, look, I don't know. It's look, we reached out. Multiple people reached out. They just wanted to do it their way, and it's going to hurt them. But moving on.
Yeah.
I want to talk about X-Men.
All right.
Right?
Have
Because
you played the new code?
yeah, I love X-Men. Man, my watch is, you can't really see, but my
Okay.
screen on that is like the little danger zone.
Yeah, I see it.
Right. Like I love X-Men. I think what Jack Danger did with that layout, that ball's doing weird shit, and did it have some issues? Was it rushed? We know it was rushed. We know it was meant to come out in December. It wasn't, and D&D wasn't ready, so they swapped, and it got rushed, and it had issues, and the code was a
Is that
disaster.
confirmed? Is that confirmed?
Yeah, that was confirmed.
I'm just nodding away.
George confirmed that with the game, he didn't mention D&D because at the time we didn't know it was D&D.
Oh, okay.
Right? But he had said the game that comes out in December was not ready and we had to push it. My take was, well, remaster was obviously Metallica remaster was ready. You should have just released that instead and pushed X-Men back a month, right? So it had its issues, and I feel so sorry for Jack and Wason because they were heavily smashed and went into hiding for 6 months. And I'm sure that this was probably the nail that smashed the coffin for Jack in relation to going, I'm not built to work in an office and design games. But like that game is extremely unique. Like the ball paths in it, it's one of the best Stern layouts. I don't give a shit what anyone says. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it. But it is super fun. It is tough. It is very tough. But I enjoy playing that more than King Kong.
Wow, that's a take. Okay. I think if you look at the danger room itself, it's annoying as shit. But someone will tell you what he's doing is he's giving you a chance. Really look at the danger room as an outlane. He went into the outlane.
Risk reward. Yep.
And there's a chance that you can get it the hell out of there. So once I took that belief, I went, all right, okay. Now the auto plunger was a pain in the ass in the beginning. It wasn't working. You got to hold down the left flipper, so the auto plunge has got to work because hitting the left ramp is so important.
Yeah,
and start your mode right off the bat. And here's another issue. We'll get real geeky on that game. From the left flipper, you can't the left orbit ramp to the left of the sentinel head. You can't backhand that. That's a mistake.
See,
that's a mistake because think of the flow of the game if you could do that.
Yep.
Because that shot's vital. Now that's a very repeatable shot from the right flipper.
Very. Yep.
You cannot hit it from the left flipper. So what they want you to do is then go to the right ramp or the right orbit ramp. to the right of him. But those two shots are very hard. You're
So,
talking. You can hit
I
them,
guess,
huh?
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit the game is very temperamental. Every game I've played is very different. It does have this thing that it really depends on how it's dialed in and how it's set and how it's pitched. Sure, which does that make it a good game out of the production? Maybe not. But in relation to the layout and if they had more time to tweak it and didn't have these deadline pressures and
The
stuff,
code is coming a long, long way. Now, when you complete a mode, like I always like this Geninosa, and you complete the mode, you go into the future, you collect, and you come back, and real smart, real smart. Games made a huge progress. Why do we have to wait a year? That's just a whole other discussion.
Look, I think again it was just because that it needed to be rushed, it wasn't ready, and then what did come out really didn't sit with the people and power of the people. They wanted changes, and we're getting those changes. I do feel for Wason because I had a really good interview with him. He's very passionate. I think he just didn't have the right direction, and probably the wrong guy to maybe put on that type of game. I don't know, but for someone who's a huge X-Men, like I grew up with the comics, the cartoons, I love the theme. Love the theme.
The theme does literally nothing for me, right? I just love Jack Danger.
Yeah, and Jack Danger, it's one of the best looking Stern LEs, being the purple. The artwork slaps. Like it's a game that I think will come good. I think it will come good. It is sad that each game needs to be told in a bit differently. But I like that we got something different. I like that we got the 3 flippers. It wasn't an Italian bottom. There was a danger room. There was, different stuff, homages to different games from the past, and I think it will come good. I'll tell you what isn't fun. Wick isn't fun. Like I
totally agree with you. I totally agree with you.
John Wick, though, it is a brutal shooter. You're only hitting 3 ramps. Those 3 ramps are hard to hit, especially the middle one. And it is a game that Carl D'Angelo can blow up because he's just a sniper, right?
Yeah, because he's top 15 in the world or 25, wherever he is. Okay.
Me, you, and my daughter
can't play
about
it. So they busted my butt on the round table. Like when I come to Arizona in a couple of weeks, they're going to teach me Wick. You're going to teach me to hit a tiny little ramp in the middle. You're going to teach me to save the ball when it comes through the nightclub and the pop bumpers in the middle. It's a tough game, man. It's an interesting thing what they tried to do with the contracts, and I think they really helped along keeping it kind of alive a little longer.
Which they're doing a few contracts now again, but it's a shooter's pin. It's a tournament pin. Like
it's a tournament pin.
It's a tournament pin. Like it was never designed.
100% agree. I just totally agree with you 100%.
Yeah, but again, it's like one of my favorite movie franchises, right? And you can bring a whole new generation of people into pinball because it's one of the best franchises ever made.
Do you think the gun controversy hurt sales on that game?
No.
See, I do.
No.
Because
when they streamed it, we saw there was heaps of guns in it and shooting, and like it was just no guns in the artwork. That can't make or break a game.
I don't know. I don't think it like broke it or anything. I just think it's very possible that it could have hurt the.
I think it's those 3 ramps that broke the sales in that game. And it had no.
I think the premium is better. The premium is definitely better than the pro. Yeah. The having the suitcase open and these sorts of that shit, is I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you. Wick doesn't talk to me. It doesn't scratch my itch.
I mean, this has
pisses me off.
I struggled with D&D. I'm struggling with Kong. I'm struggling with John Wick. So it's kind of feels like we're shitting on Stern. But the thing is, right? The thing is, you got to understand, like when you're trying to grow pinball, you need to create games that people are going to find easy to play. I know you're going to piss off tournament people, right? But tournament people who are over 50, no disrespect to you, they're not going to grow pinball.
No.
They're not going to grow pinball.
Yeah, I'm trying with a podcast, but
that's because you're not those. I'm talking about those guys that are like head down. They're head down into tournament. And that's all they do. They don't help other people. They don't teach other people. They're just selfish. They're about themselves. They just want points, right?
Yeah, they just want wild.
Yeah, those people are not going to grow pinball. I'm sorry.
So
That's how it
Stern's
is.
in a conundrum there because this community is so loud, right? They put out Star Wars, it's easy, and the games last longer than 30 minutes, then the tournament crowd loses their shit. If it's too hard, like Wick, then the average player loses their shit because it's so hard. And so there is a happy medium. I don't know which game off the top of my head is a happy
I think
medium.
just find balance.
Maybe like
Find balance.
Jaws.
Yep. Find balance because to release game after game that are just like D&D too hard, Kong too hard, Wick too hard. Like, sure, people are going to go listen to these guys bitch about it, but for the average person,
I'm not
right?
listening to you bitch
So,
about it, not me.
yeah, but listen, like the thing is, right? Okay, and I get called a Stern shill. I still love what Stern does, but my 10-year-old, right? She loves pinball. She won the under 13s
Awesome.
comp last, right? She loves pinball. She has not gone back. She played 2 games of D&D. She played Kong 5 times, right? And has not gone back to either of those 2 games. She
Well,
refuses to play Ninja Turtles because it's demoralizing because the score is just like a fucking fart, right?
yeah.
She struggles with those those themes that should be bringing kids in, right? Like
Mhm.
it's obviously John Wick's not a 10-year-old's theme, but she'd still play it because it's her dad's playing it, right? And I can't get her to play a 2-player game with me because she fucking hates the game.
Get rid of it. Doesn't
I
bring
don't
you
have
joy.
tolerance.
Doesn't
I don't
bring
have
you
tolerance.
joy. Get rid of it. Get
No,
it out of there.
get it out of there.
No,
But
look, man, I get it. It's a happy. They got a tough gig making. It is not an easy business making pinball
it's not,
machines.
and
It
I
is a
feel for
tough
Stern.
damn gig.
Yeah. I
Is
feel
it?
for Stern. I love what they do. I love what
Yeah.
George Gomez stands for. I love what George does for the hobby. I love the whole team over there, right? But the fact of the matter is that at one point before you release a game, when you're at Design Whitewood, you should get some fucking kids in, some novice players in, and go, how do you guys find this? And if they're saying this is not fun, right, then it's not fun.
All right. Public service announcement, ladies and gentlemen, from
That's my
Enzo.
controversial take on those.
His take is let's make games easier. Let's wait 45 minutes while Jaws is finishing and on
It
your
doesn't
local
need to
tournament.
be, but you can make like with the rule adjustments, right? We can make Jaws harder for tournament bait crybabies, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, you can. We did it at the
yeah,
wormhole because Next Stop Match Play is such a great little thing when you do play tournaments that it tells you your average time per machine.
yeah.
So you could just look at 3 tournaments worth of data and go, all right, we got to take the rubbers off of these damn things.
But like honestly, like I know a lot of tournament players, right? And a very small percentage of them complain when games are too easy. Like it's not everybody, right? It's not all tournament players. It's just there's a very small percentage that just are really traditional and
And
want
loud.
fast, loud, and they want the points and they want it to be challenging and
Yeah.
they don't want to be bored. They don't want to be bored, right? But I'm sorry, if we made a hobby based around that small percentile of tournament players, the hobby would have gone bust a long time ago.
Did you
So
hear Kale's on Electric Bat episode where he was talking about remote control car being a $2
yes,
billion business and
yep,
the pinball business being $100 million
yeah,
business?
yeah.
And that's the hobby we're in, right? We're in a niche of a niche.
Very niche. Yeah,
Yeah, so some people are just louder than others. I being one of them, having a
yeah.
microphone on my face. So Stern's in a tough spot, but the new CMO's job and Jack Danger's job truly is to grow
Mm,
pinball. They got to
100%.
grow pinball because this white hair is not getting it done. We
No,
need the new. So if that's a way, and some of those home editions that they put out are a lot easier. I mean, they figured out a way to put balls in machines that you don't take the glass off and shit like that.
yeah.
So they're
And
doing some
it's got
stuff.
a Connect, and it's got that's gonna those home machines are a great business move in hook, line, sinkering people into buying a bigger game eventually,
Yeah,
right?
it's a gateway drug.
Gateway drug.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a good gateway drug. I have no problem, and any content creator, so-called content creator that shits on that move just
Mm,
doesn't get it. They
no.
just don't get what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
And Yeah, you might have to just cycle your collection and put a little theater magic in there, make things a little easier for her.
But look, every Alice Cooper, the Alice Cooper for Spooky, brutal game, hard to shoot,
Yeah.
not fun for my daughter. Doesn't play it because like she reckons the music is cool and cheeky and like a bit catchy, but she can't hit any of the shots.
Evil
Like,
Dead's easier, but she'll be sleeping with you for a month.
yeah, she hasn't even gone anywhere near that room. So, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like
Yeah.
every company has that game. It's not just Stern, but
No.
it's just that unfortunately, when you are the biggest out of that small niche market, you're the biggest manufacturer that is trying to grow pinball, right? You'd think that the responsibility lies a little bit on them to make it easier.
I think you need to give Kong a little more of a chance. Let's put some more games on it.
I will.
And why don't you watch Joel's tutorial? Okay, that guy takes the glass off, teaches you how to play these machines, and
oh no, like I understand to play like the modes, and I get like what you do to blow it up and stuff. I'm just the ball just isn't surviving. It's nothing to do with like I just literally it is constantly draining. Constantly. I'm constantly draining my balls, Jamie. Constantly draining my balls.
What did Don tell you to do? What did Don tell you to do?
Yeah, play better.
I mean,
have a Coke and shut the fuck up. Have a Diet Coke and shut the fuck up.
There might be some of that. I don't know.
But like, it's just anyway. It's just again, from my perspective, is I'm the average, much like just a person that loves pinball. I'm not there to chase points. I'm not there to chase.
Well, obviously, we love pinball. It's 11:30 at night, and I'm still talking with you, and I love it. Okay, dude. It's pinball it's so fun, and we need to do a better job of the industry itself needs to do a better job of bringing in the 20 and 30 somethings. But with these licenses coming out, they might be doing that, right? With Halo and with CGC Pokemon, and Halo and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. Jack's the right person for it. And I think that's a very smart business move from Stern, because if they weren't going to do it, they were going to lose him. Because like I said, I don't think Jack was ever built for an office role. He's too bubbly and he's too...
I don't know him well enough to make that assumption, right? But I do know that it's probably a grind building a pinball machine. It's probably pretty damn hard. It's probably pretty hard.
It's a tough job. I mean, I've spoken to designers, and it consumes your life. And when you went from streaming 3 times a week or however many times he was doing it, engaging with everyone in the world and laughing and having banter.
He's so good at it. So good at it.
He's so good at it, and he can definitely just like one wicked thing that he could do is literally let's just take a pinball machine to a school, right? And let's get a line of kids to play pinball at lunchtime, right? And Jack could travel America with a pinball on the back of his truck, taking it to schools. That could be a whole show.
Yeah,
could be a whole show.
It is a strong possibility of the things that they can do. The sky's the limit. I'd really like to see them increase their social media presence. They're doing that. I'd love to see them continually increase their Insider Connect. Maybe Insider Connect gets you. I'm not saying pay for Insider Connect yet. That's coming one day, but not today. I don't see that for the next 10 years. But if they could really grow it and do Insider Connect only content, do their podcasts on Insider Connect like they used to do, good stuff. They're doing good stuff.
Give me a home leaderboard. I'm happy to pay $20 a month.
It's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, it's like I understand why they probably did it at first to drive people to the arcades, because having a leaderboard and a TV screen in an arcade is the secret sauce to driving revenue. Because people will walk in and they're like, "All right, what game am I going to play first?" And they look up and they go,
"No question."
They go, "Jamie's on
no question that
Jamie's
happens.
on Bond." And Jamie's number 1 on Bond, and my goal tonight is to smash Jamie off that leaderboard, right?
No, it happens every day at Eureka Heights. It happens at the bat. I walked to the bat and I said, "What's up there that's attainable?" Right? That's attainable.
100%.
Yeah, they've who talked about this? Zach and Dennis on the Pinball Show made a quick reference, about a 5-minute conversation. You guys should check that out, about should Insider Connect should they license that to the Spookies of the world?
Hmm.
It's a neat conversation. We don't have to delve into it, but
I think it's a smart move.
it's a brilliant move, right? Wouldn't that be so smart if they were able to do that, and then a spooky machine goes up on a Stern leaderboard? That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer.
I mean, you think about like the fact that they're allowing Jack Danger to stream other companies' games on his own channel, right?
Yeah.
That to me is already like, let's all work together, right? Let's make pinball great again. Let's grow it together. Let's
Let's make
and
pinball great again. Yeah.
So let's get him in front of us. Like, let's get him to visit Spooky and get him talking, because that introduces Spooky customers to Stern games and Stern customers to Spooky. Like, everyone benefits from it. Everyone benefits from it. And if Stern just went, all right, you know what? We're going to have a Spooky section on Insider Connect, which is just Spooky games, right? And it's Spooky tallies and Spooky leaderboards. And it's going to cost Spooky 50 grand to do that. Why wouldn't they do it?
Oh, they probably would.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer.
I mean, Jersey Jack are trying to do it themselves. If Stern turned around and said, "You don't need to. We'll do it for you. You just got to pay us a licensing fee. We'll give you your own leaderboard for Jersey Jack games." You're never gonna see them like mixed. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, right? I'm okay with that too.
But just have your pages. Have your Stern games, your Spooky games, your what are they going to be called now? American Pinball Orbit games are going to be called.
Have you seen Cuphead pictures?
No.
I've actually.
I don't want to say too much. I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
You're not going to get in trouble.
I don't want to get anyone in trouble.
You've seen them.
There's like everyone's known for a long time that it was Cuphead. We've known
right.
Like it's a shit theme. I'm not interested in Cuphead as a theme.
Well, forget the theme. Did you see the pictures?
Yeah, but it shot well. It looked interesting.
Yeah, it looked neat.
There's a lot of yellow.
It's very yellow.
It's very yellow.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter. Like it's something different, right? But that's coming from a guy who really likes Galactic Tank Force. So what do I know? But
I kind of liked Galactic Tank Force too.
Galactic Tank Force is a hidden gem, and it's not. I think it's just misunderstood. The people saw cheesy, they saw quirky, they saw original IP, they saw ice cream and titties and milk, and they were like, "Nah, not for me."
Really? I think it was the technical problems. I think the
as well. Yeah, there was elements of that.
You couldn't play it. We couldn't play a 4-player game on it.
Yeah. No, there was also
just couldn't do it, and it just could not cycle through the balls up top. I put a lot of time on that machine, a lot of time on that machine, and I can tell you, it. Once you figure out that code, it's pretty cool. But there's so many mistakes in the code that you start realizing.
There's been a lot of beta codes. I've got the new beta code that came out recently in that. Like it's much better. The 4-player works now. Mine hasn't missed a beat. I really enjoy it. But then mine isn't getting smashed. Mine has not getting smashed like it does at the back,
right.
So I get it, but it's for Fix to turn around and tell people that there wasn't an issue with that game was very silly, because there was. So yeah, sure, there was an element of the code and the actual mech.
They just, as an organization, made so many bad business moves that they, because I actually like Valhalla more. And Valhalla's a pretty cool game.
Houdini's fun, but it's tough.
Yeah, but it's tough. That orbit's tough. I mean, the inner orbit where you locking balls, but the mech on that game, American Pinball just made a mistake. I mean, who the hell is going to buy a barbecue game? It's really stupid. And I had Steve Bowden on, and I didn't have it. His opinion is nobody wants unlicensed games. That's what he told me, and I didn't confront him enough on that. I should have said, Steve, barbecue. You know what I mean? You're gonna stick these in barbecue joints. Do you ever go to a barbecue joint? Your hands are all fucked up. You can't play pinball.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's fair. It's a fair comment.
That's what
I think original IPs can work. I mean, I don't think that they can't, but I think you got to be very selective. That's all.
Yeah, I don't want to shoot meat. I don't want to shoot meat. I like brisket. It's tasty with Texas briskets, but and then so that just organization made some dumb moves, and it's unfortunate. It's too bad. I don't want to see anybody go out of business. That's not.
No.
I'm not a content creator who goes, yeah, we took down American pinball. That's
No.
not what I want to do. I want them to make a game great. And
I've reached out to him. I've reached out to him, to Ron, and said, look, let's have a chat. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's try and turn this around, because I think there's a lot of misinformation. There's probably a bit of embarrassment on their end. I mean, the rumor was that they didn't renew their name and Galactic Tank Force IP and everything, because all those bills were going to David Fix's personal email, and they were being charged on David Fix's personal credit card, right? And he was being reimbursed by the company. And that's why those lapsed, right? So
what are you doing?
Like, what type of business is run? Like, I don't want to shit on them, but at the same time, you got to understand, as a small business owner, you make those errors, you're broke within 6 weeks.
I'm done. I can't make those mistakes. But okay, so now with the Galactic Tank Force, so if the rumor is true that they're not going to do anything in production of Cuphead unless they sell these machines. And then they came out today. What was that today? I just got
today. They said that Cuphead is done, because the license, the people that own Cuphead as a license, are really pissed off with them. There was a mech in the game that never got that mech, right, has a copyright on it, and they never got approval to use it. And now they're obviously trying to take everyone to the cleaners, and they've had to, like, they reckon the game will never see the light of day. Now, I think that, I don't know if you know the story about Deadpool, the movie, where they weren't going to make the film, and then Ryan Reynolds leaked the test footage, and then the community basically demanded for the movie to be made, right? That's how Deadpool.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
right, so the studio said, no, nobody wants this. Too violent, too gory, it's too cheesy. You can't break the fourth wall. And Ryan Reynolds says, I disagree. He then leaked it. He admitted to leaking it years later, because by then he was obviously so deep that he couldn't sue himself. And for me now, I think what Cuphead needs is for it to be leaked. The people need to see it. The people then will demand for it.
All right, whoever has pictures, leak it. Just leak it.
I know who has
pictures. Put it on tilt for them.
There's a lot of content creators that have got pictures, and they're all doing the right thing, right? But I think it's one of those things that, it's not a theme and a video game that everyone played. It's a particular look. And one of the reasons why the game was delayed for so long was because the people that owned the rights to Cuphead wanted the game to come out with code complete, right?
Okay. If that's true, that sounds great.
Yeah, I agree in a way, but as we know, you need to get games out there to get feedback so you can fix modes and make changes and, blah, blah, blah. So I can understand the going out having very bare minimum code, but like at 0.8 or 0.9, like, you could release a game. Like, they wanted this to be complete.
Right? Okay. If that's the rumor, if that's the truth, bad timing.
Bad timing. So, but there's elements of, obviously, the business wasn't run well, stupid decisions were made. There's obviously money issues over there. And
it's tough business, man.
It's a tough business.
It's a tough gig. It's a tough gig. You don't like Galactic Tank Force more than Kong, though, do you?
I do love my Galactic Tank Force more than Kong at the moment. I do. I do.
That hurts feelings.
I do. I'm sorry. I mean, Galactic Tank Force is brutal. It's a very addictive game. It's nowhere anywhere near as flowy as Kong. Don't get me wrong, but I can make the shots on Galactic Tank Force all the time.
Right. Well, we just take the glass off and start learning the shots on Kong.
I am. I'm actually going to I'm literally going to give it. I'm going to take the glass off. I'm going to practice and practice and practice and hope to God, but I shouldn't have to be doing this.
But Galactic Tank Force shouldn't even be in the same room as Kong. They don't belong in the same vicinity. This is so bad.
I think we need to, before I forget, you mentioned barbecue barrios. I think we should retheme that into like a Golden Girls pin.
You could retheme it to Alf, and it would sell more.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you could retheme it to anything. Anything. They could have got a license for, anything.
You could have made a dedicated Diet Coke pinball machine, and it would have
sells more.
100%.
more Diet Coke pinball machines than.
Do you remember that video game that was the Pepsi Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, make a Diet Coke Man, make a Coke Man pinball machine. It sell well.
Barrio's barbecue, and no one knows who the heck Barrio is. I know who Barrio is because I'm in the
I
hobby,
don't.
right?
Yeah,
But
nah,
it's just mistakes. Poor
it's
guys. I just hate
so
that people lost their job, right? I don't want people
that
losing their
sucks.
jobs.
No, and it's any negative, you know, is not good for the hobby. So
Yeah.
anyway, we spoke on Predator, we spoke on June, we spoke
Yeah,
on
we're hammering
Spooky,
it, boy.
we
We're
spoke on
like an hour and a
Stern,
half. Do you really
we
need
spoke.
this too much Jamie? People don't need this much
No,
Jamie.
it's fun, man. It's fun. I could listen. Honestly, Jamie, it's a testament to you because I could, like, I see your name pop up on my notifications for new content, and it puts a smile on my face. And
Oh my
uh,
God.
it's you have a face for TV and a voice for radio. Most people only have one or the other, so you're very lucky. But I love your content. I love what you do with the boys. And you bring a lot of positive energy. So keep doing what you're doing. So just to recap quickly, we're at an hour and a half, so we'll probably stop it there. But I introduced Jamie. If you guys don't know Jamie, JBS Show, check him out on YouTube and obviously on Spotify and Instagram and all that. We discussed how difficult D&D is and possibly not fun for me. How difficult I'm finding King Kong and possibly not fun for me. But how good they are as games in general, as a total package. We touched on Evil Dead. We touched on Predator. We touched on everything that's happening at the moment. It's been a hell of a fun. And yeah, any final words?
No, thanks so much. We're gonna record another roundtable in a week.
Yep,
Which
nice.
is way earlier than we normally would do, but we have some information that we're gonna break that I think is gonna be pretty cool.
That's cool. That's
Yeah,
cool. You guys will get forced to start doing content more often. That's the problem that you're going to have because people will be demanding it with stakes and forks going.
I have a massive imposter syndrome, like a massive imposter syndrome. Okay. And it's very fun to talk to Kale because he does not have an imposter syndrome. He has no lacking of confidence. And I think we have a good thing going with the roundtable. I'm a recruiter, so I can see talent with those two when I see it. And I knew my banter with them would be great. So having the time of my life.
The roundtable, for those that don't know, is Retro Ralph. Check out Retro Ralph. I was going to say Jamie Hernandez. Cal Hernandez from Electric Bat, or as Don likes to call it, Electric Cat. And obviously he has his awesome YouTube with his partner, who is essentially the concrete that puts Electric back together, Rachel.
Rachel is
a gem.
Oh, we need more Rachels in this world, and we need them in pinball because she's brilliant too, by the way, and just a brilliant artist and a wonderful person. And I'm just as excited to go see Rachel in a couple of weeks when I go up to the bats and then to see Kale and Ralph. So,
and we have a mutual friend that I want to give a shout out to, Erica. Erica's Pinball Journey, right? So
I just did some stuff with Erica.
Erica's great, and Erica's going to want to she really wants to deep dive into doing this content full time. And I hope to God that she can now try and do it. I won't reveal too much, but she's just lovely. She is she
one of my favorite people in pinball.
Yeah, she's just such an awesome person. And check her out, Erica's YouTube channel. It's Erica's Pinball Journey. So check her out, and we'll give her a shout out since she's a mutual buddy. And
I love her.
Yeah, cool. All right, Jamie, thank you very much, man. I know it's late for you, and it is. I should get to work. It's 1 p.m.
All right, brother. You go get to work. I'm gonna go to bed. And
you're not going to bed. You're gonna stop and watch soccer.
I do watch a lot of soccer.
Me too.
Rangers play tomorrow, so I'll try to watch their qualifier. Hopefully they lose. I'm a huge Celtic supporter.
Yeah.
And
who's the Celtic coach at the moment?
Brendan Rodgers.
Oh, of course, Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, we brought Brendan Rodgers back, and
he replaced
Ange Pascal. You're Australian, Ange. Ange, who's fantastic. I love Ange. You know, he had a couple of troubles over there at Celtic. So don't get me talking Celtic. I started on a Celtic podcast. That's how I started. Yep.
Well, that's one of the mutual things that me and Gonzo have in common. Gonzo does YouTube for West Ham United.
He does?
Yeah. I'll flick you his channel just for shits and giggles. Have a look.
I am not an
lives and breathes
EPL
it.
guy. I'm oddly enough just an SPL. Makes no sense to people. They're like, you don't even watch the EPL? I'm like, not really.
How do
I
you find
don't.
the American? How do you find the American Football League or Soccer League?
It's terrible. It's terrible.
You've
It's not
got
good.
Messi. Who
Messi.
cares?
Yeah, whatever. But you know, only when Miami comes into town does anybody give a shit.
That's true. That's true. Well, there you go.
All right, brother. Thank you, Enzo, so much. You're really
very much, guys.
you're an
Thank
absolute gem in this hobby, dude. And we got to get you to Expo one year, and so that we can absolutely hang out, man. That would be so.
I might get there this year. We'll see. If
Really?
for those people that don't know, I'm sitting on an ass pillow because I've lost about 50 kilos and I've fractured my coccyx bone and I can't sit down for long periods of time. So until this heals, I can't really do 15 hours on a pinball on a plane.
On a plane.
So we'll see.
Well, you look freaking great, and thank you for having me, man. What a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thanks, guys.